that was just a landlord hosing down the property. So I thought it was somebody knocking at my door. I know we have some maintenance work that needs to be done today, but anyway, so that's what I focus on. I think that it's really important to be able to find your mental balance. It's my mental balance which leads me to happiness. It's those things, and that's the only thing that leads me to happiness. Like, I don't find any joy in my life outside of my front door. That's just how it is, because number one, I have dealt with the residual issues of what these people have put in place. I used to love, going up to people, talking. I mean, I was a very outgoing person. Now I have no desire to do that. It's just not there. It will never come back. You know what I mean? And I know that. So it's like, and you want to be around people, but like I said, I have standards. I want certain people in my life, and there's certain people I don't want in my life. And I know what I want in life. I've always have, I've always had a clear understanding of the kind of people that I want in my life. And once I've seen them or want them, I would go and introduce myself and get the chance to know them. And sadly, some people can be corrupted, and that's what happens, But anyway, so yeah, I was listening to some music today, and I did because, I don't really listen to it all the time, but I wanted to switch modes today, and I kept thinking, what should I listen to? And I'm like, Motown. Motown is a fun music to listen to because it's very lively. Now, unlike a lot of the black music today, like I don't like rap music, I really don't. But Motown was beautiful because not only did it have a great beat, the lyrics were beautiful, and there was a lot of good songwriting back then at that time. Basically for every genre, but I would say back then it was like the music was beautiful. And obviously I'm not the lovey-dovey type, okay, but love songs back then were very beautiful. They were extremely beautiful, well-written love songs that left things to the imagination. They didn't have to be sexually explicit to get their point across. Now, some of them did, okay, but they were beautiful, okay. And just because I sing along with love songs doesn't mean that I'm in love with anyone. But I do remember when I was a young girl what my vision of love was. And my vision of love back then is the same standard that I had back then. It's very pure. It's like so pure, it's not even funny, okay? Maybe it's unrealistic. You know what I mean? And I understand that. So, I have my little ways about me. And I don't want to lower my standards. And to me, these people that got involved in my life, that's low standard to me. I don't want it. You know what I mean? It's like, no, I can't even, it's not something that I even want to, like I said, I don't want to associate myself with it. And it's better for me to forget that. So, so anyway, it's hard for me to concentrate right now because I feel as though, my life was threatened by this issue. And it is threatening. It's threatening anytime I go into some place of employment, and then you got somebody calling in and saying, oh, she was here, and blah, 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 or have it arranged ahead of time or whatever. It's not. You know what I mean? I'm not interested in living up to anyone's standards, especially if I don't like you. I don't like these people. You know what I mean? And it's like, I prefer to get on with my life. Like I worked their jobs, and their jobs were nightmares. They were nightmares. They were abusive, and I can't. They don't understand. It's like these people are like monsters without any empathy or something. I obviously, which is what I made a video a little bit earlier. But they're just people that I want to forget. Which I've been saying for the last few months. But anyway. So I don't really know what I'm going to be doing for the rest of the day. Hopefully that I'll pick up later on this afternoon and start chugging along and doing what I need to do. And it could very well all be in vain, but the thing is, it's like I feel like I have to continue to look for work, because I don't like being in this situation. I don't like being, in a situation where I have people that don't have my best interest at heart in charge of my life. You know what I mean? And they're trying to make me some mindless drone, or belong to a religion that makes no sense. You know what I mean? In my life, I choose to I choose to, everything has to have meaning. Like everything has to have meaning. I'm a very serious person, regardless of what people think of me. My sense of humor is there, but it's still, even my sense of humor sometimes has this sort of like meaning to it, okay? But still, it's like, there's a lot of people in this world that do things that they don't know why they're doing it. Like they have political affiliations or ties. They don't even fully understand what it means to be like a Democrat. What does that mean to be a Democrat? What does it really mean? When you ask them to dissect it, they have this look on their face. Well, I don't know. I voted Democrat. Well, okay, what makes you a Democrat? And they won't be able to tell you. Same thing with religion. They're like, oh, well, I was raised in it, and Jesus died for us, and then and they kind of like zone out at that point, and then like, okay, then and you ask them, what you're Baptist. Where did that come from? Where did it come from? Where did it derive from? And they won't be able to tell you. See, I don't want to be a part of anything that I cannot explain. I don't want that in my life. Okay, I want my life to have meaning in everything that I do. And I want to have full beliefs in everything that I do. And see, I'm the kind of person. I'm an autonomous person, which I've stated several times. Okay, I don't join forces. I don't like to join forces because I find joining forces that it only stagnates me. Like when I was interested in becoming a certified public accountant, and that was something I really wanted to do at one time. Okay, why? Because it was a challenge for me, because it was just a challenge for me, and that's what I wanted to do. But when you get other people involved in it, then they start wanting to throw their 2 cents in. It's like, I know what works for me. I know what motivates me. Okay, I can't work under your guidelines. I know what I need in order to stay motivated. When other people get into the mix, I'm like, I don't want it. Don't want it. Now, I understand when you're at work, because the things that are getting created at work are the brainchild of the people on top. Okay? So then you have a little project and you're supposed to be working with these people, and you understand that, okay? Because you're following out instructions, okay? That's different, okay? But in my personal life, I don't want it. I will tell people I don't want it. It's like somebody, stepping on my little tail. I'm a bird, I'm trying to fly, and they're stepping on my tail. I don't want it. I will not cooperate. You know what I mean? And it's not so much that out of being defiant, it's just that, the mental balance or the brain energy that comes to me so freely when I'm autonomous will cease to exist once other people join on board. That's just how it is, because I no longer give a shit about it. You know what I mean? And that's why I am the way that I am. Okay, I understand. I have a full understanding of who I am as a person. So it's like, when I see all these other people trying to throw their hands in the mix, I suddenly lose interest. The biggest mistake that these people did was send me over to that place out in Buttonwillow. That was the worst thing they could have ever done. Why? Because you left me in a situation where I'm isolated 24 hours a day, okay? I rarely saw anybody when I worked there, okay? When I did, it was like, touch and go. But then I'd come home from a day that's only half a day that I would never ask for, come home, and I'm sitting here at home all by myself, and all I can do is think about, what in the world? Like, what is it? And so that's when I started drilling down, and I really started drilling down. And so you started realizing exactly what is in the world is going on. And I resented it because, like I said, I was already divorced. I was divorced in October of 2000, I want to say 18, but it's 19. No, yeah, it was 2018. I have the paperwork. And maybe I might even show you the paperwork, okay? Because I don't like to sit here and like shove it up people's faces. But it's like when you deliberately, ignore a legal paper, okay, and you deliberately ignore somebody saying, I don't want this person, I don't believe in their lifestyle, and these people still want to hang out with you and still want to be associated with you, get the hell out of my life. Okay, I do feel threatened. I feel extremely threatened and violated by what you guys have done. And I get the feeling that my mom's like, well, you don't really need to be that, harsh about it. When you get, you get job interviews in different locations, you got people like, looking at you strange. I want to know why I'm being looked upon as strange. I want to know what makes me so immoral. Okay, I'm not the one who adopted children to have sex with them. Okay? So what exactly am I doing that's immoral? I'm not doing anything that's immoral. Now, when I was younger, of course, you do things that you're wrong or whatever. I had a child, wedlock, whatever. Okay, but it's like I don't expect me to be loyal and devoted to a family that I don't want to be associated with. That I want to be associated with. You know what I mean? That's just like, I can't stress it enough how disgusted I am by that. I cannot stress it. It is so disturbing to me to wake up and thinking that these people, these predators, and they got people working alongside with them. And so, I read a lot of, I don't know, what do you call it? Like people who are aware, like they call it being woke, whatever. Woke. It's awake. But anyway, people who are aware of issues that go on in the world, okay? And they'll talk about, corruption in governments and stuff like that. I believe it. And the reason why is I see it on a lower scale. I see it on a lower scale. You see this in certain corporations. If you know that kind of corporations are corrupt, then you know good and well that there's obviously corruption in the higher levels of government or whatever you want to call it. That's a total possibility. Now, I don't know every single thing because I'm not in the mix, and I would prefer not to. Ignorance is bliss. Hey, I don't want to know about everything. Okay? I'm just somebody who's trying to get by in this world. Like, I really don't want to have anything to do with the outside world and their views of things because I really do think that it's warped. You know what I mean? I suppose maybe I am something of a, I think people thought that I was an activist before I even started talking about even got on my videos. Like when I left the farmer's place, I got this feeling that people started thinking I was an activist. I wasn't trying to go against authority in any way. And so that was the arrogance on their part. The arrogance on their part was, number one, to think that they had authority over another human being. Okay? And the fact that they thought that I was trying to challenge something when I wasn't trying to challenge. I was simply saying, leave my hair alone. Stop talking about my hair. I mean, to me, you can gossip about me all you want to, okay? You can do whatever. But when you sit here and create a harassment or a hostile environment and make me lose my job over something you don't understand, then we have a problem, okay? And because I noticed that doesn't mean that I was trying to be an activist. But I did start talking about, gang stalking. I did start talking about workplace mobbing. I did start talking about, the legal issues relating to these things in 2015. And then as I progressed, I'm like, now I want to get things more fine-tuned. I will never shut up about this issue. Why? Because it affects so many people. Do I expect this to ever resolve? People thrive in corruption. I understand that. And like Activism of Care was saying in one of his videos a few days ago, that there's far more of this corruption than there are, people who are law-abiding or people who respect the rights of others, okay? We are the minority of people who, I'm not being arrogant, but doing the right thing. We are the minority. I fully understand that, okay? But I think the main reason for me making these videos is because people need to know that they're not by themselves. Like they need to understand that it's not them. It's not them. They didn't do a thing wrong. They have every right to live their life, okay? What workplace mobbing is, what community harassment is a violation against their rights by people who are corrupt. And that's what it is, okay? So that's what it's there for. I can't change the world, okay? All I can do is offer comfort to people and maybe advice and maybe, advice to how to deal with it, with their emotions. And I encourage people to make videos, to pass out flyers, to inform people, because there's a lot of blind people in this world. They think that if you numbers, if there's strength in numbers, they're like I have never believed in strength in numbers. Never. I have never ever believed in strength in numbers, because cowards only cluster together. I'm a woman. I'm an army of one. I'm a one-woman army. Okay. I had all these people with their little psyop and whatever, and I understood. I know. I can see right through it, and I'm not afraid to confront this. I'm not afraid to confront it. You know what I mean? Now, I would prefer to just move on with my life, and that's what I want to do. I don't know what's going to happen to me. I have no idea. You know, I'm sure there's people with all their rumors and whatever, and they want to obstruct and they want to force me into some marriage to some people that I'm just like utterly disgusted by. Disgusted. You know what I mean? I'm disgusted by it. You know, and I was going to say some really harsh, fucked up things about these people, but I'm like, you know what? Just forget about it. Just forget about it. Forget about it. Move on. Just get over it. You know, but I could say some fucked up shit, and I would be absolutely right and justified in saying so. You know, so yeah, you know, I'm not happy outside in the world. I'm not happy out there. You know, like when I go out there, I take care of my business and I want to come straight home. You know, it's no longer something that I enjoy anymore. Like, you know, and anything that I do is a solitary experience. Like I said, like going for a walk to the park or whatever is just, it's all solitary. You know what I mean? You know, I encounter people, and when they ask me the wrong questions, stupid questions that sort of relate to my targeting, kind of getting, you know, trying to figure stuff out. It's like, you know what? I'm not gonna put up with that. I'm not putting up with it. You know, it's like I have every right to have I still haven't finished that sewing project. It's been on my mannequin for like 6 months already. I was thumbing through some my old YouTube videos, and I'm like, man, that was 6 months ago, and it's still there. It hasn't been finished yet. Okay, but people, you know, stretching their necks in to see what kind of shit I'm into or whatever, so they can go back and tell the main perp, you know, that I have a mannequin in my home because, you know, Maria's making clothes and I'm going to hold it against her because she's, you know, I never said I was going to wear that to work. You know, it was just something I picked up at the thrift store. I liked the color. I said, you know, I'm going to go ahead and make that. And then I threw an outfit together on it to see what it would look like. What it would look like against black or whatever. It has nothing to do with anything. And even if it did, I'm not married to you. You know what I mean? I'm not your goddamn wife. Nor do I want to be. So anyway, yeah, I'm not trying to come off as defiant. I'm not, you know, and it's unfortunate that the employment sector is what it is. It really is. It's so unfortunate. Because I could have had a better life without these people. I could have had a better life. But anyway, back to music. Music is wonderful. Music, it helps me a lot. And, you know, I do have an artistic flair, meaning I like my little painting. I'm not a good painter. You know, I like my arts and crafts. Music to me is a form of art, and it is, obviously. I enjoy listening to it. You know, it just makes me think. And there's some pieces, like in Motown music, that have like these instrumental pieces where the music was blended in so beautifully. It's like I cannot it just touches me. Like sometimes, like, you know, some people get really emotional when they think about music. Some of that is just really, really beautiful. Just the instrumental parts themselves, no lyrics, nothing, just the music. You know, it's beautiful, and it's something I take pleasure in. I enjoy that. You know what I mean? I was looking at this lady. I mentioned her a few days ago. Her name is Lynn. She does this GoDaddy. She advertises or promotes her, I guess, her fashion ideas on GoDaddy.com. Okay, I think this woman's like 69, maybe 70 years old, something like that. Okay, and she was talking about, you know, her love of fashion. And as she was describing her love of fashion, I was relating to what she was saying. It was like, and none of it was completely devoid of romance. Because obviously somebody her age is not trying to strut her stuff or try to get a man or whatever. It's about expressing something that's within you. You know what I mean? And I firmly believe in that. You know what I mean? It's in you. You love it. You're drawn to it. It's something that, you know, generates great feelings inside of you. Then do that. You know, yeah. Do I like fashion? Not all of it. Like, I've seen some things on the runway. I'm like, why are you wearing that? But some people, you know, some of the things that you see on the runway are not meant to be worn every day. It's there for, I guess, artistic expression. Not necessarily that people are going to actually wear it, much less buy it. You know what I mean? But it's interesting to see what people create. you know. And clothes to me are a just like she was talking about. It's like, you know, it brings out something in you. It brings out something in you. Like she was saying, like when she feels scared or whatever, she's got this outfit that can, you know, help her feel more confident, so she can be more assertive, and so on, so on and so forth. I understand that. I see the benefit in fashion. I do see the benefit in it, you know, and I appreciate this woman. I think that, you know, fashion should not be limited just to the teenage years all the way up to your 20s, okay? I personally believe that fashion is something that I prefer the word style, okay? I prefer that. I believe that it's something that should be carried throughout your entire life. By the time I'm 80 years old, I will still be this person. It doesn't have to stop. Like I see little old ladies with their blue hair. Hey, that's your blue hair, lady. Rock your blue hair. You know what I mean? I mean, but I understand it doesn't go well in some social circles. Now that's not my style, mind you, the blue hair thing, okay? But some people have a need to do that. Just like you see some people, and I see a bunch of people walking around town with tats all over their body. I saw this one chick, she had tats on her neck, tats on her arm. Not my thing, okay? Not my thing. But some people have this need to express themselves this way. That's who they are. That's who they are, okay? And so in cases where people, and I've seen people who have tattoos working in offices, but they obviously have to wear long sleeve shirts. Some of them wear turtlenecks under their clothes so they can hide all that stuff. But it's who they are. It's who they are, you know? And I resent people telling me to distance myself from things that are important to me. That is important to me. Since I was a little girl, this is what I loved. Not as a hobby, not as a career, because I'm not that skilled to make a career of it. And I get people, perping people, come up to me saying, oh, you know what, I think you should get into this. You know, I'm not going to get into this as a career. It's not about I would dare not make something for another person, although I would like to make something for my son, okay? But I would dare not ever think that I would make something as a full-time job to make clothes for other people. It's not about that. You know what I mean? It's just a hobby that I have on my own. And I resent people. See, that's why I don't want people in my house. I don't want people in my house anymore. And I'm not going to. Now, obviously, this is a shared deal here, okay? But when it comes to my personal space, and hopefully if I ever get my own apartment again, there's no more people coming in. Unless, of course, you're a utility worker. And I know sometimes these people are involved in their crap, too. You know what I mean? But I'm not going to be, I'm not going to be afraid to be who I am. I'm not. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like, why invite negativity into your home? You know? I was talking to a girl in another state a few days ago, and she was talking about minicide, right? And I knew what she meant, because anytime you use the word side in it, it means to eliminate, to destroy, much like pesticides, suicide, homicide. So I'm like, okay. And I knew what she was talking about, because obviously I know when you're dealing with gang stalking, human trafficking, whatever, these sort of things, the whole idea is to change somebody's life into a direction, drastically change it into a direction that is not to their benefit. That's one of the reasons why people commit suicide in this program. Why? Because they see no reason to live under a system that is not conducive to their well-being. Okay, but she basically mentioned the word, and I knew what she meant. Well, she explained what it meant, but when she said the word side in it, I'm like, okay, something dies, okay? What they want you to do is be an empty, hollow shell of yourself, okay? And I suspect they want you to be an empty, hollow shell of yourself. Number one, Polly's agenda is because she feels threatened because her son is her lover, and she feels like, I'm going to just really suddenly lose my mind after all I know about him, and I'm going to want him again. Fuck no. Okay? You don't have to worry about, I'm not a threat to you. I don't want you, your son, and I certainly hell am never going to be attracted to you, if that's in your warped mind. Okay? I'm not attracted to you. Either one of you at this point. I find you guys to be predators, okay? But anyway, it is. And they put unrealistic, foolish demands on people. in order to manipulate them. For example, in this case, what I do outside of work is nobody's business. That is nobody's business. Nobody's business whatsoever. Okay? It would be one thing if I was to wear this particular outfit to work, which I would never do. It was probably something I'm going to wear at home, in my house. You know what I mean? I don't go out anywhere. I don't do anything. I just liked it because it was a pretty color. It was like, 50 cents or something like that in one of those bushel barrels at the thrift store, so I got it. And I shouldn't even have to explain that. But menticide is basically the goal of, number one, forcing a person to take on characteristics that are not like themselves in a drastic way. Okay? I don't ever want to adhere to a religious belief that I don't accept, believe, or understand. Okay? I don't ever want to take on habits, behaviors, ideas, or anything like that that's not right for me. It's not right for me. Okay? I don't ever want to behave in any way, shape, or form like you people. I would never do the kind of stuff that you guys did. Ever. It goes against everything I believe in. And if that means that my life is in jeopardy, well, then I guess my life's in jeopardy. Because like I said, that would be no point in living. That's why some people just blow their goddamn brains out, because they know that they don't want to live like that. I don't want to live like that, and I won't. When you say things like this, you are putting a hit out on other people. You are basically putting their life in jeopardy. And I don't appreciate it. It was an imbecile thing to do. It was totally moronic to do something like that. Because you're jealous. Polly's jealous because she thinks I'm a love rival, which is ridiculous. Once you understand what you got, once I understood what this little clan was all about, I got the fuck out. And then you have the nerve to sit here and follow me and try to dictate my life and then think that, no, I don't want to. I'm disgusted by you. I know you think your life and your world is normal. And sadly, obviously, you convince people in this community that it's normal. And maybe they think it is, but I know better. So anyway, gonna finish listening to the music. Gonna relax for the rest of the day. I'll pick up my job search whenever. I'm not gonna rush it today. I need a break. Taking care. Bye-bye.